You watch north of the buildings, I'll watch the buildings in south. So I keep seeing these videos on YouTube titled "The Most Underrated Game Out" or something along those lines. And then I click it and it's about Squad or Hell Let Loose. And I think to myself, what about Postscriptum or War of Rights or better yet Beyond the Wire that has a current concurrent player base of about 50? Now it's not because the game isn't good, it just happens to be in a niche genre with a lot of stiff competition. But in today's video, I'm going to go over exactly why I think that Beyond the Wire here is about to blow up. First, I want to welcome everyone to the Mil-Simp tax shooter and historic gaming channel, home of the weekly Steam key giveaway. I am excited to announce that we have a few Postscriptum game keys to give away. Tell your mates, don't be greedy. We'll be giving away one at the end of every week, of course. It does not apply to the winner of this week. For details on how to enter the giveaway, stay tuned till later in the video. Alright guys, so there's a bunch of things coming with this next update. Starting out with the Anzac faction, Australian and New Zealand faction. We have vehicles coming to the game, or better yet, tanks. And the way these things drive are going to be pretty realistic. A feature I haven't really seen in any other game. Well, we'll go over that. And the big one, customization and progression. Well, back in my day, we didn't have any of this progression. But I know the average gamer of today cannot live without it. Also, real big news.
Oh shit, why did I do that?
King George in Great Britain!
Redstone Interactive, the creators of the game, were acquired by Off-World Industries themselves. So we're going to go over all of this news, all the new content, and talk a little bit about each feature about to be added to this game. The update's coming real soon, so fix bayonets and prepare to charge. So, first things first, the coming update's new faction, the Anzac Forces. The Australian and New Zealand infantry divisions spent time in Egypt and Gallipoli, meeting the threat of the Ottoman Empire before moving to reinforce the British Empire and their allies in France. While the Anzac forces will be deploying with British uniform and equipment, the team has added some uniqueness to the faction to help separate them from the forces currently on offer in the game. Primarily armed with the charger-loading Lee Enfield as their rifle, the Australian and New Zealand forces will also take the fight to the German armies with the SMLE sniper and the Hotchkiss light machine gun, in addition to the Lewis gun. While they weren't known for being widely used on the Western Front, the Anzac forces did utilize the Hotchkiss LMG in the Palestine campaign, and so will be using these loadouts to give them a unique aspect in battle. Their army evolved throughout the war. The Anzac forces saw their section types change to meet the changing landscape of the conflict. Differing from other units, the Anzac snipers will be found integrated into the bomber section on maps prior to 1918. During the final year, the snipers were reorganized into infantry sections. These deadly roles will make use of the brand new SMLE sniper, which sets these roles apart from others within the Empire. The development team has been wanting to address the in-game ragdolls for a while and have completed a rework of the physics system attached to their character models. Addressing the existing collisions for physical assets, players will now see a more realistic reaction when dropping an enemy. While the previous system provided some comedic moments, the system wasn't ideal and now gives a more realistic visual to suit the game's atmosphere. The commander UI has also been updated, with new icons for call-ins. Non-directional fire support now shows as a crosshair icon, and directional call-ins have a direction indicator. These new icons are part of the new UI and deployment overhaul coming with Operation 4. There are also more weapon options on the way. There's been 2 recently completed which will play very different roles on the battlefield. First up is a new pistol for the Central Powers, the C96, arriving soon. Animations for the pistol have recently been completed and show a difficult reload, having to hold the bolt while inserting the rounds. A much anticipated sidearm that will definitely be a hit with the community. Next up is the Tank Uver. It was revealed in previous blogs and will play a huge role in combating the inbound tanks. With a single round capacity, this large caliber rifle will be one of the main methods in taking down advancing tanks. And the final weapon we see progressing with this new update is the new heavy machine gun. Now I'm going to butcher its name, so I'm going to throw up its spelling also. Saint Etienne or Etienne is fully animated and will be bolstering the arsenal for the Entente forces. Now, speaking of weapons, each faction is getting a tank. Now, the team has had to rework all the existing maps to make sure tanks can get around the maps, and there will also be areas the tanks can't traverse. Now, what makes this tank system special from other games is that the team has implemented independent track movement. Aiming to have tanks move and turn in a realistic fashion, you'll see it in action in this video now. The second aspect of movement that has been developed is the switchable gearing that drivers will be able to engage, allowing them to set a constant speed while moving, or to enable a parked mode when stationary. This addition will allow players to move consistently when advancing, giving better control over the vehicle and more opportunity for gunners to acquire and engage targets on the move. The newly revealed German A7V is on its way out of the testing phase, with operable cannons being the latest focus. The video playing now shows the view from the hull and how the cannons work. The team is now internally testing these massive land ships, and of the British, French, and German tanks, you can probably expect the A7V to be the last tank implemented into the game. Passchendaele. This new field of battle is currently in the blocking stage as the environment and level design teams look at sources and imagery from the third Battle of Ypres. With aerial photography giving an idea of the area they're looking to explore, the team has also sourced references from the ground level so they can ensure the field is authentic to the time. Aiming to replicate the muddy conditions and sunken trench lines reinforced with large concrete bunkers, the level design team are aiming to create the most brutal trench warfare seen in Beyond the Wire yet. The UI overhaul is still in progress, and there's also changes coming to the deployment screen. Aiming for a more polished menu for section and role selection should help bring the interface together. Along with the redesign of the UI, there's been a focus on improving accessibility with spawn selection and tooltips, giving you a better experience. If you look over to the bottom right, you will see XP hinting towards progression, which we're about to dive into. But before that, we're going to look at the coming player customization. Now, the team is still working on a plethora of options for players to customize their soldier with. The art team has been working on various parts of the uniform and equipment items that will give personal touches to your character in game. Spectacles, masks, pistol holsters, and many other items being options to customize. The team is ensuring that they can offer fun choices, yet still remain historically authentic. With over 200 switchable items being introduced when it launches, you won't be short of adding a unique touch to your character. Also, the team will finally reveal the full list of cosmetic items that will cover your character's face, headwear, facewear, upper body, lower body, webbing, backwear, and hand slots. Again, the team will release more information as we move closer to its initial release. The development team began work early this year to build a brand new system that would take a player's game-to-game progress and reward new customization pieces that the players could then use to add their personal touch to their soldiers in-game. The team's intention will always be respectful of the period, and their main goal is to remain historically authentic. While the art teams work to create uniform and facial options, the engineering department have been tackling the major programming effort to build this complex system from scratch. The code base they've used to build the game had no functionality for such a system that would track and collect a plethora of player stats, which would then feed into a player's profile, issuing rewards and new tasks across their playtime. Given the building of such a system needed a new foundation of how players' actions were tracked, the task has grown exponentially, which the team did not foresee. With each new target achieved for their engineers, a new web of problems arose, needing even more attention and time. Ever since the system has been started, it's easily been the biggest workload for the programmers this year, all the while still having to deal with all the other development requirements. Further delays have been needed, and as the team closes this year out, the system is now expected for release in spring 2022. That's right, boyos. Progression and customization. We're gonna have tanks coming to the game, and if you look at the roadmap, the initial release 1.0 is gonna come with air battles. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that means player-controlled flyable prop planes. And devs, if you hear me, don't give us just guns, but let us bring some bricks up to throw out onto enemy heads. I heard that story about World War I long ago, and I've had it stuck in my head ever since. Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you're not excited for the Beyond the Wire's future, I think you should be. And regardless, when this game's full tilt 50 versus 50, there really isn't quite anything like it. And I really think due to progression and customization, the gamer of today is really going to have something to play for. But only time will tell. We will see. I've been right before and I've been wrong before. But until then, don't forget to join the giveaway. All you got to do, like this video, be subscribed to the YouTube channel, of course. Join us on Discord, it's linked below, and drop a comment. Say whatever you want in the comment, but leave your Discord name and number because that's your ticket stub. Now remember, you guys are entering to win Postscriptum game keys. Now this week's winner can choose from Easy Red 2, Mud and Blood, and Fire and Steel. Speaking of a winner, congratulations, Patty's Alt. Come on down, hit me on DM, make your selection of the 3, and I will promptly send that over to you. Special shout out to my channel members. We got a brand new Mil-Simpist top tier member. Give it up for Carl. Big shout out Jacob Lamech coming back at the Mil-Simper tier. Consider becoming a channel member. Join the ranks of the Mil-Simp minions. Hit that blue join button below. Support the channel for as little as 99 cents. If you record your gameplay, don't forget to submit your clips in the submit your clips section of the Discord. Whoever gets first place of this next top 10 Mil-Sim moments video also wins a Steam key. Alright, good luck to everybody. I'll see you boys in the next one. Y'all be good to each other.